Hey guys, HMK once again, and Pokemon Go has been out for over a week now. And welcome to my first rant, and probably the ultimate rant I've got on Pokemon Go. And no, it's not about how glitchy the game is, even though the game needs work. And no, it's not about team factions or anything like that, who's better, who's worse, or even though Team Valor is where it's at, Team Valor. But no, it's not about any of those. It's about the social bullshit of Pokemon Go, where people have the need to tell others, hey, why don't you get a life? Hey, why are you playing Pokemon Go? You're such a loser, such a nerd. Why are they out here? Why are you guys playing Pokemon Go? Huh? Don't you have anything better to do? How about that shit? That's something better to do, right? Fuck off! So, the thing about Pokemon Go and its explosion of how many people are playing it, yes, a shit ton of people are going out, leaving their homes in search of Pokemon in the real world. And yes, team factions are drawing, big arguments on the internet and big arguments online, even though for the most part I feel that, I would say 85-75% of it is more comical than actual, because I've never seen a fist fight or anything like that break out between a Team Mystic or a Team Instinct member. So I don't feel that's really escalated to the point of, big violence or anything like that. So the point is the division between people who believe that video games and Pokemon Go in a nutshell is bullshit, and they have the need to tell these guys who are coming out of their homes and going out into the real world looking for Pokemon, making new friends, getting all these meetups together, to tell them, hey, listen, what you're doing is fucking stupid and childish, and you should just do anything else other than gaming and Pokemon Go. Hey, go watch some sports. Hey, go do this. Take a selfie, do a duck face. So, where was it established that what you do is better than what we do, and then you have the need to tell us to stop doing what we're doing? Just because it's got uberly popular, do you feel threatened that, oh my god, sports and all that other nonsensical shit is being, pumped down by Pokemon Go? Are you feeling eclipsed? Are you feeling overshadowed by this nonsense? Well, first of all, it ain't fucking nonsense. For one of the first times in gaming since, I would say, the explosion of esports, something like this has exploded into, I would say, the mainstream audience of the world, and that is Pokemon Go. And that's a great thing, because one, it's showing that, hey, this is how many gamers exist in the world. Hey, this is how many people who love Pokemon exist in the world. This is what Pokemon is doing. It's getting people outside of their homes. It's getting people to congregate. It's getting people to know each other, meet up with random people, making new friends. Fuck yeah! And that in itself is the basis of Pokemon if you ever played the games or watched the anime. And two, it's breaking down social norms and, I would say, what's the awkward barriers that a lot of people suffered with, mostly gamers or what people will call nerds or geeks. It's breaking those down finally and allowing them to go out and, have a bit of a positive social upbringing for the first time in their lives. And that is fucking amazing. But all these fuckers who think that they're normal goes out and tries to set that shit back another 20 years? What's your fucking problem? How about you go and suck on your fucking wings at a fucking beer stop and watch your fucking sports and your favorite team getting bullshitted on by some... I can't even fucking finish that sentence because I really don't care for sports at all. So why don't you go just go do that shit and leave us the fuck alone? Personally me, I've been gaming all my life. And yes, I've dealt with those problems where I've had trouble making friends, or trouble going out, or trouble expressing myself when I was in my earlier years. But then one time, just the way I was brought up in my life, I've had first things that just made me click and say fuck it, and this is who I am now. I love gaming, but I'm not afraid to speak on my mind. I'm not afraid to go into social gatherings and shit like that. So I have a pretty healthy-ish social life, and I know how to fucking handle myself and crap. So, but not everyone has that kind of mentality. Not everyone is gonna fucking tell you off, or not everyone is gonna be able to defend themselves if you go up to their faces and be like, hey, Pokemon Go is for nerds, you're just lesser than me, you're a piece of shit, or anything like that. Why don't you go do something constructive with your life? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you go do that? Not everyone is like that. And I feel that it's pretty shitty for a person to come out to another person, someone they don't know at all, and try to spread this kind of negativity for something that's actually being positive. And I already know if anyone comes up to me with that nonsense or any of my friends, you better get ready to get shitted on. And then we come to this article written by one Robin Winter, whatever. And it says, Pokemon Go is not a chat me up invitation or an invitation to talk to me on the street. Now, for the most part, this article, I understand where she's coming from. She doesn't want to talk with randoms. She doesn't want to talk with anyone for Pokemon Go or anything like that. And you know, I understand that there's people who just don't want to talk to other people. There's people who just want to play Pokemon Go by themselves. And she complains about getting hated on or chatted up by random strangers on the bus or on the street who happen to figure out that, you know, she's playing Pokemon Go. That she's playing Pokemon Go. That she's playing Pokemon Go. Right? So that's kind of understandable. You know, if you really have a that big of a deal, just tell them, hey, listen, I'm not looking for new friends. Or if she wants to be all bigable, just tell them to fuck off. But now she takes the passive aggressive route and decides to write a slandering fucking article on what kind of website is this? The inews.co.uk. So what really fucking grinds my gears and set me off is the last paragraph she decided to write. It says, what happened to the good old days when gamers stayed firmly indoors with no need to venture outside and nerds feared social interaction? If only there was such a thing as Pokemon Go away. So, you're one of those people. You're one of those fuckbags who believe that, you know, gamers gotta stay in some sort of social norm. They have to fit some sort of cookie cutter mold. That nerds, they have no place in the social interactions of the world. That gamers need to stay inside. That nerds have to stay on their computers. Nerds have to stay on their things. Geeks have to keep to their own selves. So you think that you so call it by your names, gamers, nerds, and geeks, them going out into the world, exploring themselves, breaking down social norms, talking with random strangers, finally breaking out of their shells. You think that is a negative thing? And you think going back to the good old days where people had massive social anxiety to the fact that they couldn't leave their house? You think that's a bad thing? Oh, and by the way, this is the type of person on Twitter, and she says right here on Twitter that, hey, I blocked over 100 accounts today. If I see someone with an anime girl picture in my mentions, I'm gonna block you automatically. What kind of bigoted bullshit is that? So someone has a love of anime, decide to put it as their picture. Oh my god, cringe, blocked. Where is the fucking logic in this? We already established that this girl, Miss Little Robin Venture, doesn't have any logic to back up her fucking claims of how gamers, nerds, the real world, social interactions. No, I block accounts because they have anime pictures on them.
Isn't it a bit hilarious that someone who's saying what happened to the good old days where nerds and gamers stayed indoors is complaining about being outdoors and fearing social interaction? Maybe little Miss Robin should sit her ass at home and keep to her little typewriter instead of telling other people to stay indoors. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a gamer, nerd, and a geek, right?
Please explain yourself. Fuck, I'll put a fucking anime picture on that shit. Does that make me someone that you should block automatically? Well, maybe you should block me now because I'm fucking sandbagging your ass. But that's besides the point. Alright? Pokemon Go is a phenomenon that is bringing people together. Alright? And I'm not trying to fucking blast all the people who believe that, you know, are not into Pokemon Go or not into games or anything like that, because there has been a lot of people who usually don't even play Pokemon games or don't even play games in general, yet they go out and try Pokemon Go. And that has brought the marriage of gamers and non-gamers, hardcores and casuals together, meeting up, making new friends, sharing secrets, you know, having potential hangouts and parties or whatnot. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful fucking thing. But people like this want to paint it as something else. And that pisses me the fuck off. So my friends, my good friends, all my gamer friends, all of my brothers and sisters in gaming and nerd and geek culture, if you want to call it that, enjoy Pokemon Go. Choose your team. Catch your Pokemon. Go out into the world. Interact. Do it. You are doing nothing wrong. And to all those people who are telling you that you're doing something wrong because of this shit, fuck you and fuck off. How about that shit?